So 6 months back, I came back home. And when I came back home, I thought within 2 weeks, I should be back at BITS, again going to college, again attending physical classes. But now it's been 6 months, I'm still at home. And over these days, I've been noticing that when I attend online classes, day by day, my attention span, my ability to focus, everything is reducing. And this is a strange problem. I'm feeling a bit stressed, I'm feeling a bit more anxious, and I went into the depths of it, right? I started reading a bit of articles about why is the pandemic causing so much anxiety, and the answer is pretty obvious. Right now we're in such a vulnerable position. People are dying. We need to stay indoors. A lot of college students are uncertain when the college is going to open up. A lot of students who are getting into college do not know when the college is going to open up, when classes are going to begin, and then a lot of school students, they don't know when exams are going to happen, how they're going to get graded, and people are losing jobs. There's economies in a bit of a stress, and things aren't very positive over here. And in such scenarios, it's very obvious to feel fatigued. And to be honest, on a social level, we humans are social animals, right? That's what makes us different from other animals. We have the ability to interact with people, and that's how we've been born and raised. Throughout our life, we've been learning from people by talking to them, by observing facial expressions, by observing body language. And right now, everything is shifted to Zoom, and that isn't really interesting. All right, the first point is Zoom fatigue. Now, when we have normal conversations, like in-person conversations, like कोई सामने बैठा है और उसके साथ बात कर रहा हूँ तो it's called high fidelity conversation. It means that you can see their face, you can see their body language, and we humans are social animals, so just by looking at the face and body, we can tell what the person is trying to express, and we give 100% attention to the person who's speaking. On Zoom, we do not have that level of transparency. बहुत लोग तो video off कर देते हैं, so you can't even see the video, and it's just a bit of audio and a blurry video. Now, our brain actually uses more neurons, and our brain is spending more energy in deciphering what's happening in that Zoom call. So when you're watching an online lecture, your brain is actually doing more work compared to you sitting in a physical classroom and looking at the professor. And what this means is that when your brain is using more energy, it gets exhausted pretty fast, and you, in a way, lose your attention span in a very short time. That's one of the main reasons why students are complaining that Zoom classes are boring, Zoom classes do not really work that great. And a great way of avoiding this, according to the University of Arizona magazine, is to take regular breaks during these lectures and to avoid a lot of Zoom calls. If you're using Zoom calls to socially interact, अगर दोस्तों के साथ बात करना है तो avoid that. Instead, do a phone call. That's much better. It requires less brain power, and you won't get exhausted pretty fast. So a clinical psychologist at University of Arizona says this: the idea that there's a specific syndrome we might call pandemic fatigue is probably a shorthand way of saying that we have reached a point where our mental health is breaking. So we have reached that mental health breaking point, right? Because as I said, there are a lot of things happening. And we've been stressed, we've been isolated, we've been lonely, burnt out, and more depressed and anxious than we've been in a very long time. Many people spent the spring indoors with the hope of returning to normal in the summers, but those hopes were dashed. According to a recent data from the Census Bureau, nearly a third of Americans are reporting symptoms of depression and anxiety, or both. Now, at the same time, the cases of people being really anxious, people going into depression, people feeling very stressed are increasing, and the reason is pretty simple. I'm a huge propagator of productivity, but at the same time, I never say overburden yourself and exhaust yourself. And it seems that that's the case, right? College is putting a lot of pressure on you. You want to do a lot of online courses, or you want to accomplish something, and then at the same time, there's so much external pressure, right? Everything on the news is negative, and then you have so many corona cases rising. You don't know if you'll get a job. Tons of things happening. So it's really important to take a step back, be relaxed, maybe chill, listen to some music, read some books, go out for a walk in the morning, and exercise is really, really important. So I would say, these are tough times, and I'm having a tough time here managing so many things. At the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was so excited. People used to make dalgona coffee, and people used to learn how to cook. People were spending more time with their family and coming to know about their inner self. But now everything is becoming very monotonous, right? Every single day that I live is looking pretty much the same. And what that means is, whenever you start living a monotonous life, your brain does not differentiate things and your brain does not get excited. So you start feeling really bored, and you learn less. You do not like to focus on things too much. So doing something different every single day really helps, right? So if you're reading a book, or going out for a walk, or watching a movie, these are all different things. So keep doing something different every single day so that your brain stays intact and you're able to cope up with this pandemic. And remember, this corona situation is not going to go away anytime soon. So it's our responsibility to train ourselves, to train our body, to train our routine in such a way that we are able to sustain this lifestyle for a couple of more months to come, before things start getting back to normal. And when I say normal, it's the new normal, right? From December 2021, the new normal is going to begin. So what I mean by the new normal is, things won't be the same. There'll be slight changes. Like there'll be more hygienic practices. People wearing face masks and face shields. Those kind of people will increase. Travel is gonna see an entirely new phase. The way you live in hotels is gonna see an entirely new phase. Companies like Book My Show are gonna change their business models, because movie theaters aren't going to come back soon. So there's going to be a very different world starting from December 2021, and this is the transition period when we need to get ready for it. And one of the most important part is to stay happy and to keep your mind stable. So this is my take, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Yeah, do comment out what you guys are doing this COVID, how you guys are tackling this stress issue, this anxiety issue, and maybe someone can take back something from your comments. So do comment it out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.